So I'm going to have to redo the locks? I don't know. Alright.
Police! Police!
He flipped over. One's in there and one's been hit by the chandelier.
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
Oh, you sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I
Yay!
assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that?
Mycroft.
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our Queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men.
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers!
Oh, I'm a private consulting detective. Here we are, I think. I hope.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Oh, don't we know when they're supposed to be meeting this fellow? So, they go together. The antiques discovered inside the hidden safe at the abandoned manor at Notting Hill represent the collection of Hellenistic treasures that were stolen in 1885 and considered to be lost. Yes. So, Foley's Vengeance. Isn't there more? Because I know I've got this conclusion, but I wonder what C does. Oh, okay, so these are the available ones I've got. So I don't want... You found and utilised all clues in the case. Is that it? I thought the Merry Men...
Move, you flim-flammer.
Language, Watson. Language. Yes, we've done everything here. So obviously it was Foley, because he literally said it was him. Charles Foley organised the theft of the Hellenistic treasures, which was related to the double murder at Half Moon Street. Leighton Chapman was a witness to the crime. Absolve him, Charles Foley will be in prison for organising a grand theft. Since he is not directly guilty of murder, his sentence will be shortened. And then what happens to Leighton? To condemn him, Charles Foley organised and executed a wicked plan of revenge with the added theft of ancient and valuable treasures. He deserves the rope. Because the thing is, if I absolve him, then it's just Leighton Chapman's going to get it. So we know Leighton's innocent, so we're going to reveal everything we know. Confirm your moral choice. Yes!
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful. You Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Oh? What are we doing? What are we doing, Holmes? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, are we doing the meeting instead of Foley?
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. what matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
Exactly.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men.
Indeed.
But I suppose you knew that already.
Of course.
We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No lives shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
As will new rulers.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
So I can throw the cigarette. Oh, you're giving me a choice, right? So I can either blow it up now or let them do it. This amount of gunpowder would probably do far more harm than they're saying. Also, there's probably going to be backups of all the various ownerships and copies anyway. So there's going to be records of what everyone has. All it's going to do is allow thieves to steal things and not have the proper backups to make sure that those thieves aren't doing it, which could harm both those who are incredibly well off and those who are only moderately well off, who assumably are also shop owners and the like, who have decided to gamble on the stock exchange. And even then, if you go into this chaos, new rulers will arise and you can have exactly the same problem with them. So, powder trail. I can't let you do that.
When people fight the Order, they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
And that's how Holmes died for the second time. Or not. The Reichenbach Circus. Be interesting to see what results I get in comparison to other people.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence.
Ooh.
Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire.
Oh, shut up.
For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
They're the same thing,
Your
surely.
truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the Merry Men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more Merry Men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Charles Foley organised and executed a wicked plan of revenge for his elder brother. It took 2 human lives and almost resulted in life imprisonment for an innocent man. In fact, his band was hired by the Merry Men, who planned the revolution in London. In addition, he organised the theft of ancient and valuable treasures that rightfully belonged to the British Museum. He deserves the rope. And I got it correct. Right, accept decision. You're about to finish the case. The save files for this case will be removed. Press no if you would like to select another moral choice. Press yes if you agree with the choice you have made, and you're ready to start a new chapter. Which I'm guessing is towards the end. Commiserative. People solved the case the same way, 96%. These have all been ridiculously high. People who made the same moral choice. Okay, so people agreed with me in general. I never guess. The guilty brotherhood. Their crimes, your punishment. Yeah, I never guess, guys. I'm guessing this is the credits then. It is! So, the rambly talky bit that I discussed the game. I think the game would have been slightly better. I think I probably would have put the Abbey Grange mystery at the very beginning. Because it was the shortest one, and it was the one that I think was closest to all the stories. All the other, it was the closest to the books, I think. In general, I think actually, I'm trying to think about it. Black Peter, I think that's one from the books. Abbey Grange is from the books. The 2-shot thing, that's from Dancing Men. What other cases did we have? We had the Bloodbath, which I don't think might have been. I don't think that was. Then there's. Oh, I can't think of what the other ones were off the top of my head. That's frustrating. But it seems like a lot of times they took bits from the story, and I think it would have been better if they'd been unique and new puzzles and problems. I think it would have been better if there was, not if the puzzles were more vague. Oh, maybe more vague. Just make them slightly harder, because I don't think any of them had over 50% difference. Over 50% wrong. I think most of them were. I think even over 60% correct. Gotten it correct. So I think just make it more difficult in that regard, because it just kind of, the fact that you can open up, just leave it vague. This is what I think they should have done. Is they only tell you if you've got it right or wrong. They tell you how many clues you've got. And I don't think you should be able to check maybe you shouldn't be able to check at all until after it. So you solve everything. You get to this point of the game, and it tells you how many you've gotten right. And then you can go back, because there's a case section in the menu. So so maybe you can go back to the other menus. So you can go back to the other. You can go back to the other cases and like, oh, maybe I've got this one wrong. I'll go back and do this case again. And it just gives you a tally out of the 6, how many you've got right, how many you've got wrong. Because I pretty much I got them all right, apart from I think it may have been a glitch. I looked into this, and I think there were a few people who were saying he's not appearing for me. So I think it's kind of a general thing where there were a few problems people had with that. I like the idea of, as players, making the decisions as to whether to. Are we just going to go back here? Are we doing something else? Ooh, is Holmes going to do a talky bit? Because I'll get back to this. Yeah, the absolving and condemning makes sense. Oh, okay, so it's just a little pan around. The kind of absolve and condemning, because that's something that happens in the books. Is with the Abbey Grange, I think that's kind of the decision he makes. He says, "You protected her from someone who was attacking her out of love. You didn't plan it, so I see. I don't think you did anything unjust. I think it'd be unjust to have you hanged for it." And I think that's kind of interesting. Just that decision there. I think there were only a few times where I actually went against people. The problem with the statistics, I think, is attached to. I think there's some achievements for. So there's achievements for getting it right. So you want to keep going back until you get it right. And I think there's achievements for staying in one particular direction. So staying as always condemning or always absolving all the time. And I think both of those kind of fundamentally shift those statistics, which is quite sad. One thing I've been thinking about, which I think would be an interesting idea, in a way, would be to have one of these puzzles where you have, but make them multiplayer. So the puzzles are kind of, I don't know, procedurally generated, just to kind of make it a bit balanced in a way. And you have one player who's Holmes and one player who's Lestrade. And you have different powers to your side, and then it's a matter of you can both win, kind of thing. I don't know. So Holmes wins if he gets it. No, Lestrade wins if he gets it right. Loses if he doesn't get it right. And Holmes wins if he gets it right, and then if he absolves, Lestrade gets it wrong. Or if he condemns, Lestrade gets it right. Because then you also have that element of Holmes giving that bit of evidence once he's figured out the case. He's like, well, I'm going to give you this bit of evidence. I think it's this. And so the Holmes player can absolve and then push you in the wrong direction, or condemn and push you in the right direction. Or you could come out outright and say, oh, it was this person, but you don't know if you can trust them. That's something that'd be interesting. I don't think it would really work, but it's just something I like the idea of. A multiplayer Sherlock Holmes puzzle game. What a bizarre idea. Alright, so yes, we're done. I'm guessing this is deliberately put in for the waffly YouTube Let's Play of people. Do you really want to quit to main menu? All progress since the last save point will be lost. Yes. So there we go. We've finished Crimes and Punishments, Sherlock Holmes. Yes, so yes, I do like some of the stuff that you're doing. I do like the fact that it's rather than one big case, it's sort of little cases. I think that fits the Sherlock Holmes story a bit better, because then you're not having to randomly put in a load of different action scenes, as they did in Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, that Pike is finished Let's Playing maybe about a week ago from time of recording. So yes, so yeah, I've enjoyed this. I think they're planning on doing another game similar to this, very similar to this, like with obviously, hopefully, with distinct puzzles that aren't just story, that don't take elements from the books. But we'll see. So yes, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you join me for my next whatever I do. Thanks for watching.